Hello everyone. Welcome to my YNR 24 spoilers. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Mariah's story must be told after Billy's dangerous move backfires. According to teasers for The Young and the Restless, Billy Abbott failed to mend his differences with Jill Abbott. Victor Newman was in the living room when he got to the Abbott homestead. The audience is aware that Victor hardly ever enters Abbott. He views it as his adversary's domain. However, Jack Abbott and Victor have a deliberate alliance. Billy still thinks Chancellor can be regained in some way. Therefore, he will comply even though he is not on board. Victor Newman demands a modification to the plans. Victor wanted to collaborate with Jack, but only on a short-term basis. Jack's plan to team together with the goal of eliminating Kane Ashby is something that the mustache finds appealing. Victor received some helpful information when Billy arrived. The founder of Newman Enterprises, which includes its Chancellor division, and his brother were informed by the former head of Chancellor that Jill was in town and had a meeting with Kane. They must divide and conquer, according to Braden's character. Although Jack is prepared to accept that his opponent will cooperate in order to achieve their goal, Billy is able to see through Victor's facade. Jack is unaware that Victor aims to overthrow Jabot in one fell swoop, as the Dark Knight put it, in addition to crushing Kane. Billy Abbott will not intentionally assist Kane Ashby. Billy is not disciplined because of his tendency to act recklessly on a regular basis. Victor calls him Billy Boy. Kane's recognition of Victor's patronizing moniker was telling. He made fun of his pseudo-brother by calling him Billy Boy. Given that Billy was on yet another dark path, Jill was furious that she was unable to make amends with him. But after recognizing that Kane was feeling lost, she became close to him. On some level, viewers must question whether Kane is playing Jill or if he will act out in spite of any sage advice she gives. Regarding Victor, Billy refuses to assist Kane, but in another heated argument, he might reveal some of Jack and Victor's strategy. Kane has demonstrated his ability to elicit information from a wide range of people. The exaggerated Halloween story of Mariah Copeland. This plot started months ago and has only been hinted at in fragments. The main idea is that Mariah met a much older man while drinking while traveling out of state for Cassidy First. Mariah claimed that the man evoked suppressed anger and made her think of Ian Ward. She had a flashback with this man as a result. Halloween is just a few weeks away. Therefore, it wouldn't be shocking if this plot was extended till then, with a terrifying disclosure ideally taking place by the end of the month. Mariah's safety, Jack's pressure, and Nikki versus Jill. Spoilers for Tuesday, October 7th, 2025 are available for The Young and the Restless. Fans may anticipate Nikki Newman and Jill Abbott facing off in the upcoming episode. Kane Ashby is pushed to act morally by Jack Abbott. Tessa Porter is also concerned about Mariah Copeland's security. Let's discuss the upcoming events in the CBS soap opera as you continue reading. Jill Abbott versus Nikki Newman. Let's begin with Nikki and her confrontation with Jill. Nikki says she needs to talk about something when the Abbott matriarch visits the Newman ranch. It's been a long time coming, the blonde continues. Nikki might let her rage run wild, but I wonder if they will be able to work things out. Read more. Discover the events of YNR's most recent episode. Jill is already upset about Kane and Billy Abbott Jason Thompson, after all. Everyone must unite as Kane is pursuing the Newman Empire. Women are much more adept than men at doing that, for whatever reason. The alliance of Victor Newman. Jill will eventually meet Victor Newman as well. They might form a coalition. But I wonder whether they can work things out, since Victor doesn't want the best for Billy. Tessa Porter's shocking revelation. According to spoilers on The Young and the Restless, Daniel Jr. and Tessa will return from their trip to Boston. To learn more about what actually transpired in Mariah's former hotel room, the two headed there. Shouldn't the housekeeping staff have handed it over by now? Perhaps they may be fortunate enough to discover something that the cleaning crew overlooked. Sharon Newman asks them if they learned anything regarding Mariah's incident in a preview video. Tessa responds, looking worried. They did. Read this. The Young and the Restless spoilers. Mariah's story must be told after Billy's dangerous move backfires. October 7th, 2025, Tuesday. Additionally, fans will witness Nick Newman challenge Phyllis Summers. But will Red keep playing games, or will Nick get any hints? Additionally, Jack will keep doing everything in his power to thwart Kane's scheme. Before everything blows out in Kane's face, the patriarch will try to persuade him to act morally once more. Kane seemed overconfident about his strategy, though. Is this just a front, or is his plan truly unbeatable? Keep an eye out, because there must be a way to shield every business in Genoa City from Kane's AI strategy. On Tuesday, October 7th, 2025, which narrative are you most excited to see? During the week of October 6th, 3 must-see Y&R twists rock Genoa City. According to spoilers for the week of October 6th, 2025, there are 3 must-see scenes on The Young and the Restless. Tessa Porter's concern for Mariah Copeland's safety is something fans should anticipate. Lily Winters and Jill Abbott question Kane Ashby about his history. Nick Newman also goes rogue. Let's discuss the upcoming events in the CBS soap opera as you continue reading. The fear of Tessa Porter. First up is Tessa, who has left for Boston to look into Mariah's claim. She attempted to kill a man, the redhead told her wife. Tessa, however, finds this hard to believe and wants to know the real truth. Tessa and Daniel Jr. travel to Boston. They seem to find something unnerving, though. The safety of Mariah Copeland. Tessa and Daniel are spotted by Sharon Newman, who works at the coffee shop, in a weekly preview clip. The blonde inquires as to whether they learned anything. At that point, Tessa remarks they did find something, with a distressed expression. As the week goes on, Tessa will start to worry for Mariah's security. Lily Winters and Jill Abbott come together. Another must-see moment on The Young and the Restless revolves around Jill. According to spoilers for the week of October 6th, although the woman has returned to Genoa City, Billy Abbott's situation has not improved. Jill and Lily will then work together. Together, the two will approach Kane and ask him about the last 6 years. Nick Newman acts irrationally. Additionally, Nick is said to go renegade. Could this be about Kane's visit to see Noah Newman? Or is it related to his mission? Holden Novak and Claire Grace Newman are on their way to Los Angeles. As well, the idea that Victoria Newman is pursuing Claire is then hinted at. Thus, I question whether Nick's deviance has anything to do with Claire rather than preserving the Newman empire. Kyle Abbott is another. Claire was already lost to the young man. Will he thus commit another grave error by having an affair with Audra Charles? They appear to be simply fixated on one another, so they may act hostile all they want. Watch this space to witness the fallout. 1. Billy Abbott's bet against fate. A storm is brewing around Billy Abbott, a man characterized as much by his restless ambition as by his inability to keep out of his own way. As the week in Genoa City starts with tension simmering just beneath the surface, Billy enters the Abbott estate, which is typically a haven of family history and latent animosities, and discovers Victor Newman sitting comfortably in the Abbott living room, which the Newman patriarch has long regarded as enemy territory. This leads to an unexpected confrontation. Billy's face conveys a mixture of indignation, suspicion, and confusion. Billy sees Victor as the embodiment of everything he hates: cunning, power, and brutal domination passed off as business savvy. But here Victor is, drinking coffee across from his sworn adversary Jack Abbott, as if decades of hostility had never been. Victor's composure is beguiling, but underneath it all is a strategic mind working feverishly. He came to observe, to explore, and to position himself, not to be polite. Jack thinks that their partnership, which was formed to get rid of Kane Ashby, is a necessary evil. However, Victor's intentions are deeper than usual. Billy, though, isn't duped. His gut tells him that Victor's sudden cooperation is more motivated by opportunism than by mutual gain. Billy believes that the mustache always has a secret reason for moving. Additionally, this alliance, which unites two titans of Genoa City's industry, seems like a setup ready to blow up. 2. Victor's new strategy: split and conquer. When Victor demands a change in plans, the tension reaches a crescendo. Although their original agreement to neutralize Kane was sound, he informs Jack that a divide and conquer strategy is now necessary. Alliances are as ephemeral in Victor's universe as devotion itself. His deceptive tactics start right away. He suggests that Kane may have more allies than they realize, including Jill Abbott, who is just back in town. Billy, unable to contain his tongue, interrupts and affirms that Jill did indeed meet with Kane. It's the kind of rash decision that frequently costs Billy more than he expects. Victor narrows his eyes. He knows just how to turn the valuable information into a weapon. Although it seems like a minor moment, it starts a chain reaction. Billy has given Victor exactly what he needs: leverage, in his frustration to show that Victor cannot outmaneuver him. Ever the idealist when it comes to family, Jack accepts Victor's claims of unity and strategy. However, Jack is unaware that Victor's larger objective is to damage the Abbotts rather than just destroy Kane. Victor believes that eliminating one adversary is wise business and eliminating two at once is ideal. 3. Billy's declining choices. Billy Abbott's incapacity to leave when pride is involved has always been his biggest weakness. He can't help but push back, making sarcastic comments, pushing boundaries, and questioning authority, even though he knows Victor is being dishonest. For Victor, Billy will always be the same Billy boy, the careless gambler, the untaught man. Furthermore, Victor's mocking moniker, which is employed once more throughout this encounter, is more hurtful than before. Later, Kane mocks and taunts Billy by using the same term, unintentionally adding to the inner turmoil that pushes Billy to make yet another error. Observing from the sidelines, Jill sees her kid headed straight for catastrophe. She has seen Billy self-destruct, make promises to improve, and then fall back into the same traps before. This time, however, things are more complicated because of Kane's involvement. Jill can't decide between two men she used to adore like sons. Desperate and shrewd, Kane has re-entered her life with a touch of charm and regret. However, Jill senses that something more sinister is about to happen. Is Kane playing with her feelings? Or worse, would he be playing both sides, using her to simultaneously obtain information about Jabot, Newman Enterprises, and Chancellor? Although her instincts tell her otherwise, Jill's heart wants to think that Kane has changed. 4. The showdown between Nikki and Jill. As the week goes on, viewers get to witness a unique and delectable face-off between Nikki Newman and Jill Abbott. These two formidable women, who have fought battles in both love and business, ultimately cross paths again, this time as possible friends in combat rather than rivals in romance. Nikki doesn't waste time making small talk when Jill comes to the Newman Ranch. Nikki opens in a cold yet composed tone. There's something I've needed to say for a long time. Decades of shared history, men, money, and moral differences crackle in the air. However, there is respect for one another beneath the ice. Both women are aware of what it's like to live in a society where egos like Victor's and Jack's rule. And when the topic turns to Billy, Kane, and the mayhem that threatens both Chancellor and Newman, an unexpected event occurs, a kind of ceasefire. Nikki understands that Jill's battle is now about family rather than just power. In contrast, Jill perceives Nikki as a lady who can relate to the anguish of witnessing a loved one's decline. Instead of fireworks, the encounter ends with a reluctant realization that they might need one another before the war is over. 5. The unsettling past of Mariah Copeland comes to light. While the family and business conflicts continue, a much more sinister tale is being told elsewhere that could permanently alter Mariah Copeland. Mariah had a secret she could hardly explain when she returned from a business trip months ago. She admitted to thinking she had killed a man to Tessa Porter. Fueled by drink, fear, and underlying anguish, the confession was unvarnished and fragmented. She described a senior man who made her think of Ian Ward, the cult leader who used to rule her life. Mariah experienced rage, fear, and confusion as a result of the uncanny resemblance, which ultimately led to an unrememberable blackout. The truth feels closer, yet more terrible than ever as Halloween draws near. Daniel Jr. and Tessa go to Boston to look into the event. They look through Mariah's former hotel room in the hopes of finding something physical, like a receipt, a picture, or a clue that would help them piece together the disjointed evening. The room should have been cleaned weeks ago, according to logic, but soaps don't always make sense. Furthermore, Tessa's haunted expression suggests that the discovery is much worse than anyone had anticipated when she informs Sharon Newman that they did find something. What did they discover? Blood? A report of a missing person? Or maybe a surveillance photo that implies Mariah never dreamed about the man? 6. The emotional repercussions. Sharon's guilt and Tessa's fear. Tessa's mental state is rocked by her finding. Although she has always had a strong commitment to Mariah, this mystery puts their marriage to the test. Despite her intense affection for Mariah, she is starting to worry about what she might be capable of. In the meantime, Sharon struggles to balance her responsibilities as a mother, therapist, and guardian. She has witnessed trauma in the past, including that of her late husband Ray, her children, and herself, but this is unique. This time, the darkness is within her daughter rather than on the outside. Tessa feels the weight of her own past transgressions bearing down on her, while Sharon tends to her. She recalls the times she kept things to herself out of embarrassment and how, in Genoa City, secrecy inevitably leads to catastrophe. In creating generational echoes where crimes and patterns recur like a melancholic tune, the young and the restless excels. Previously, Sharon's tale matched Nikki's. Currently, Mariah's story reflects Sharon's. 7. Jack Abbott under duress. Jack Abbott is in a difficult situation since he is torn between his moral principles, his brother's erratic behavior, and Victor Newman's always changing plans. Jack's intuition tells him that the only way to counteract Kane's increasing influence is to work together. His mind tells him that there will always be a price for siding with Victor, and Chabot himself could be the price this time. Victor has a strategic charm. He flatters Jack's leadership, commends Jack's intelligence, and acts as though he values their cooperation. However, every conversation concludes with a subliminal threat, serving as a reminder that Newman Enterprises always comes out on top. Jack will have to deal with the aftermath when Billy rashly gives Kane or Jill information. In typical soap opera fashion, the repercussions will be most severe when he least expects them. The emotional irony is that Jack might lose everything as a result of his control-hungry behavior, including his brother, peace, and possibly his legacy. 8. Newman-Nick's rogue mission. Nick Newman sets out on his own rash adventure while mayhem breaks out in the business world. He is sick of constantly putting out fires started by Victor, Victoria, and now Kane's new technological empire. He is tired of being the family's cleanup man. Fans question whether Nick is pursuing ghosts from his personal life or Kane's AI takeover scheme when he goes rogue. Holden Novak and Claire Grace Newman, who are also traveling to Los Angeles, may be involved, according to recent teasers. Nick's hasty action could cause more heartache than heroism if it is intended to protect Claire, his daughter who has had difficulty re-establishing confidence. Knowing Nick, I also know that professional judgment is usually tainted by personal feeling. Desperate to save another collapse of the Newman family, Victoria is compelled to pursue him. 9. Jill and Lily come together, a seldom-seen partnership. Lily Winters and Jill Abbott face Kane together in one of the most impactful scenes of the week. Kane's deceptions and plots caused both women to be apart from the men they loved for years. This time, however, two ladies stand side by side demanding answers. Their mutual suffering turns into unity. Cornered, Kane tries to charm his way out, but Lily's cool rage gets beyond his barriers. In the meantime, Jill gives a scathing monologue about redemption, treachery, and family. The conversation reminds viewers why legacy characters are important and it's classic YNR. It is unclear if Kane's AI plan will be successful, but one thing is certain. Jill and Lily are not going to back down. 10. Genoa City is on edge due to the impending storm. All the threads come together to create a sense of impending disaster by the conclusion of the week. Billy's bold decision to tell Kane about it during an angry outburst has backfired terribly. Victor now believes Jack is being dishonest. Jack believes Billy has betrayed him. Kane, too? He is ahead of everyone by one step. Nikki's partnership with Victor is on the verge of disintegrating. Jill's heart is breaking, and Mariah's nightmare is creeping closer to a terrifying reality that might be related to someone else's unsolved crime. A fitting metaphor for masks, secrets, and revelations. Halloween is approaching. 11. Symbolism and themes. The way the themes are layered in this week's plot is what gives it such depth. Truth versus deception. All of the main characters are either revealing, lying, or hiding information. Truth is the most perilous currency in Genoa City, as evidenced by Victor's covert intentions and Mariah's repressed recollections. Family loyalty. In spite of their conflicts, the Abbotts and Newmans have one thing in common: the agonizing love that both unites and destroys. Generational trauma. Mariah's storyline reminds viewers that unresolved pain always finds a way back, echoing Sharon's past. Female strength. Tessa, Jill, Lily, and Nikki all embody various types of resiliency. Their arcs stand in stark contrast to the men's destructive egos. 12. What happens next? There will be several emotional and literal explosions as The Young and the Restless approaches its Halloween finale. Jack and Victor will start a feud after Billy makes a mistake, which could end their tenuous partnership. It will be revealed who Mariah's mystery man is, and it may have something to do with Ian Ward's cult legacy or, worse, her biological father's past. The tense truce between Jill and Nikki could turn into an unexpected alliance against Victor. Furthermore, Kane's AI scheme, which is probably a corporate espionage ploy employing Newman technology, has the potential to start a conflict that completely upends Genoa City's power system. 13. The last word. More than just a weekly spoiler. Billy's risky move backfires and Mariah's story needs to be told is a microcosm of what The Young and the Restless excels at, examining the ways in which ambition, love, legacy, and human frailty collide. A compelling picture of flawed humanity is painted by the combination of Victor's cunning genius, Jack's idealism, Jill's maternal grief, Mariah's haunted guilt, and Billy's recklessness. Every plot line, whether romantic, corporate, or psychological, reveals a reality the show has always understood. The true conflicts are waged within the hearts of the locals, not in boardrooms or mansions. One thing is for sure, though, as Genoa City enters the spooky shadows of October, the reckoning has only just begun.